Another major battle was joined at Kula Gulf during the first week of July. The American force gained a great tactical advantage in the battle by performing a classic naval maneuver, crossing the enemy's T. This time-honored trick put the enemy in the unfavorable position of finding suddenly that only his lead ships could fire, and only forward. The American fleet, on the other hand, could fire simultaneous broadsides against the enemy's ships. Although the cruiser Helena was lost, the U.S. sank 2 Japanese destroyers.
I was in the Battle of Kula Gulf, Kula, and I got to watch both those battles from out the stern of the ship and all the explosions and everything. I could see them launching the star shells on us, and we shooting at them, and we opened fire on them, and when they opened fire on us, see the ships burning, and it was something no one can ever explain at all. It was just horrible, you know.
They transferred a bunch of those Helena survivors over to us. You know, we all took up collections. They asked us to donate clothing. Yeah. And we donated, you know, like a set of underwear and
dungaree shirts
and jeans and shoes if you had an old pair of shoes that you could donate. Because them guys had nothing except a bunch of oil in their eyes.
Oh boy, you couldn't tell.
Oh Jesus, that was a mess. Because they all had oil and stuff out of their eyes. Because see, that crude oil was floating around on top of the water.
Thick as molasses.
The week before the Helena went down, and these guys, we pulled them out of oil, and they were out there in the water, and there was oil all over. We had to ditty up clothes for them when they come aboard. And down there in that tropical, where the sun is, with that oil, it's just like they'd take you and put you in a gasoline, only it's worse. And their skin comes off. And it's really, you know, it's scary, really. I was ready to get off that because I didn't want to get in that fire. That was
there was a guy on that ship that was bunked above me in boot camp. So I looked up the name Hike in the San Francisco phone books, and there was 5 hikes listed. The first one I called was the right place. His brother answered and he said, "I'm sorry, my brother isn't with us any longer. He got burned badly on the Helena." And I said, "Oh, that's right, I remember. He was a fireman. They got that torpedo hit in the fire room. And he was burned badly, and his brother said that he lived for 2 years in that Mare Island Hospital before he passed away."
Yeah, that's when we got the torpedo and she got sunk.
You see, I knew that was his sister ship, and I was sure that even though that the St. Louis wasn't mentioned, that it was right beside of the Helena. Well, it's a picture in the paper showing the Helena going down, another ship by it, and that was the St. Louis. That was more or less a hard time for the people here. I would wait for these letters, you know, and they never come when you thought they should. Then that would be more unease.
My battle station was right there in that little director. There's a little box. I was right on top, and I was very fortunate. I could see everything. The Japanese would be firing at you, and you were firing at them. You could see yours going, and you could see theirs coming till they got to the top of the arc and start down. They always fire that way. They don't fire straight because it's a distance apart. When those things start down, you didn't never know where they're going until you hear them go boo, 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 boo. Then they'd go by you. You knew where they was. What they try to do is strategy. It's over, under, and then they had you right in the middle.
We lost USS Helena. You know, the Helena went down on the 5th and the 6th. 12th and the 13th, we got the bow knocked off.
Yeah, I was.
After everything, all the shooting was over. I think it's been an hour and 20 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. And the Honolulu and the St. Louis was hit just within about 28 seconds together. When the bow of the Honolulu went down like that, and ours went up like that. I mean, then I remember I was one deck above the bridge on a 1.1 on the starboard side when that was hit. When that water come up over the top of us and the water said I was down on the main deck. I was looking for an older sailor. I can't even remember his name. McGough, I think was his name, but I can't not sure. And he'd have been there, and he would have jumped. I'd have followed him. I mean, I'd have went right over the side.
You'd have went with you, huh?
You better believe it.
The night we got torpedoed, I was on a 20 millimeter. I jumped over the deck, and we was assigned to a life raft, and I hit one of these long knives. Cut that loose, and there was 3 other guys joining us. We was ready to take off, and somebody up on the bridge kept hollering, "Stick with the ship, stick with the ship, stick with the ship." That's the only thing that saved me from going bye-bye.
My battle station was down in, well, I was in turret 1 and turret 3. Outer magazine. Way down at Torpedo Junction, I guess. Sure, that's where torpedoes get you, I guess. That's the only thing I know.
I'm up on 1.1s, and I could hear radar 1 all the time. I could hear them talking. We're 6,000 feet away, and then that's when we
we opened fire. Yeah.
We opened fire.
Well, they shot a star shell first.
No, they put their searchlights on them destroyers.
Oh yeah, they put the searchlights on. Yeah,
they put the searchlights on the destroyers. We're back here, and they're over here, and we start firing here. They start firing over that way. Started firing this way. It was about an hour and 20
pretty
minutes.
well illuminated there because there were star shells coming up in the air.
Yeah, I can't even remember star shells that night.
Boy,
Talk about being scared. I was scared.
Well, I'll tell you what, I never seen you. Damn torpedo wakes coming underneath that ship. God almighty. If you seen as many torpedo wakes as I could see back on that stern of that ship, you've been scared.
I've never seen them.
Wakes coming from all over. We got hit by a torpedo. I'm back on the stern of the ship, and we're cruising over about flank speed and rolling over 34 knots, and it's kicking out a lot of water back out of the stern of the ship. We're heading down the slot real fast, you know, and all of a sudden the bow just lifted up out of the water, and it almost threw me off the stern of the ship there. The vibration did. I didn't know how much damage was done on the bow until that morning a little later. I know we just stopped almost in dead in the water, and then we started to proceed very slowly forward. They could have hit us very, very easy. The Honolulu had a torpedo sticking in her stern. They pushed it out with mattresses. They jacked mattresses and jacks around it, and they pushed the torpedo back out into the water. It did not explode.
Both of those ships was hit. There wasn't a man lost in either ship, the Honolulu or the St. Louis. When torpedoes hit, they didn't lose a man.
It was a miracle, too.
Scares the hell out of you, but you still do what you do.
Well, everybody's scared, you know, but you're going to stay your station, and you're going to do what they tell you to do, and you're going to fight. And even though you're pretty scared sometimes, and you think it's going to be the last, but you stay right there and stay at your station, because if you don't, one guy lets down there, some guys let down, well, you get hit, you get hurt, and get killed.